Martell's concubine has finally made it to Love and Marriage Huntsville season 12, but none of this matters because Melody's not there. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So today, I can't believe I am doing videos again on Love and Marriage Huntsville that has nothing to do with the ratings, but it was because my peace was disturbed because I saw, shout out to No Chaser TV, apparently a trailer has come out for Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to listen to it because, again, I don't want to hear from Carlos King or the OWN Network or any of the sort, but there are some things that we've got to get into, so I'm going to press play, and then I have some thoughts, y'all.
You guys just agree to $90 a square foot. You ain't got to be thinking about certain things that you guys not even familiar with.
He thinks he's the only builder at the table. Been in this thing for 20 years. I'm simply better than you.
Okay, bro.
We're trying to elevate the neighborhood. We lost a damn house.
Are y'all joking?
He better not ever say he's better than me at nothing.
I have a plan. It's called Wildly Successful Monster.
High school go, man.
Yes.
University said, hey, I don't think school's for you right now.
At the end of the day, Maurice, maybe you're not the best guy to teach him.
Martell, he stepped out his marriage, he cheated. She was pregnant.
I mean, how can you just mess your family up, huh? What made you want a relationship with a married man?
This girl came in and messed up that family.
This my best friend.
I thought he's Destiny's best friend. I think there has been some feelings developed between Martell and Destiny.
If I had $1 million to bet, have Martell and Destiny mess around, my money's going towards that. Give me my payout.
I never had interest in Destiny like that.
You tried to put your son in Maverick School, and he didn't get in. Talk about my son.
Get out the way, because this is about to get ugly.
Let's go.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. New season, Saturday, September 12th, 8/7 Central.
I have a lot to say. How many times is Martell and Marceau going to get into an argument about, who's really a builder, who's really making improvements to the city of Huntsville? Another regurgitated, recycled storyline. How many times are we going to talk about unfinished houses? Another regurgitated, recycled storyline. How many times are we going to discuss Maurice's parenting of his son and Kimmy being frustrated for the gazillionth time about Maurice, about their marriage, about all of the things? Now, all of a sudden, we're again pushing a storyline of allegedly whether or not Destiny and Martell have ever been entangled, have ever done the grown-up, have ever done any of the things. Then, you guys, the climax of this trailer is Martell and his concubine making her debut. They first tease her earlier on in the trailer with her silhouette. It also sounds like she's coming on supposedly as Destiny's friend, as Destiny's bestie, but allegedly has tea about some issue with her son-in-law and the school that her child with Martell attends. And then the trailer concludes, you guys, with Martell and his concubine sitting in the confessional. Now, here is the thing. I thought that two things happened, right? I thought first and foremost that originally y'all said that the concubine allegedly signed away all of her rights and Carlos King would never have her on the show because of her crash out comments about Carlos King, Oprah Winfrey, and all of the sort. Number two, I thought that we saw several live streams in which the cast themselves, not even including Melody Cherie, said that they would never sign on for Martell's concubine to be on the show, and this is while Melody Cherie was on the show, that they would have to have sign off from the entire cast, which meant the core six. There had to be sign off in buy-in from the core six for the concubine to be on the show. Then it was alleged in at least one occasion that Martell tried to bring the concubine on set. And things apparently popped off because it was unbeknownst to the other cast members and things did not go well. And Carlos King, you know what I'm saying? You played in Melody Cherie's face the most. You played in Melody Cherie's face the most. How is it you present this show as yours? I want to showcase black couples, black husband and wives that are allegedly and supposedly multimillionaires, that are managing their marriages and their family life and business and friendship. And you are so desperate for ratings. You're so desperate. This is why y'all got approved for the 30 episodes, because I was of confusion as how OWN approved, how, Discovery approved for 30 freaking episodes. But I guess this was going to have to be the last resort. This was going to have to be what you say, Carlos King, your force multiplier. This had to be the last stand. But here's the thing for me. Why does it matter, Neil, if Melody Cherie's not even on the show? Hopefully, Melody Cherie has her attorneys on standby so that the concubine is not talking crazy and not talking reckless about Melody Cherie. And now I might have to actually tune in to make sure that's not happening, because I peeped Tasha last season a few scenes that circulated around and percolated around the Instagrammies that she was still trying to throw out Melody Cherie's name. No. So let me guess, because I'm going to presume and assume that Destiny feels like she's on an island. Kind of like what happened to Melody Cherie when y'all tried to ice her out and all gang up on her. Destiny and Martell were like, listen, look at here. We're the stars of the show. So we're going to film with the concubine. We're going to bring her onto the show if you want this show to succeed. No. And how convenient, Carlos King. Did the trailer need to come out today? Or were you a little irritated and agitated that the motion of Melody Cherie and Drew Sidora's collaboration, because I don't recall you mentioning that on your Monday night show, and you see everything, Carlos King. Don't play. You see everything, Carlos King, and you love all things Real Housewives of Atlanta, so you cannot tell me that you did not see the Melody Cherie and Drew Sidora collection that dropped yesterday, that went viral, and I believe at least one of the bundles is already sold out. But the real conversation that was had, a lot of people on social media was pushing for Melody Cherie to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta next season. Even if it's as a friend of Drew Sidora's, something that is going to get Melody Cherie in front of those Bravo cameras. And I think Carlos King knows something behind the scenes. And this was his last hurrah to keep Love and Marriage Huntsville afloat. To keep the checks rolling in for Love and Marriage Huntsville. You did everything you said you weren't going to do. When there was a petition and all the things to have Tisha's mom off the show because of the melee that happened at the reopening of Madani, that is closed again, you know what I'm saying? And it's been closed forever, ever. You allowed Tisha's mom, you know what I'm saying, to escalate things all because of fake rumors and fake gossip and fake tea from Martell and the social media of it all, questioning the paternity of the youngest child, and she was off that show because it escalated to leading to violence. She was removed from that show for the rest of the time. Melody Cherie was there. And the entire time, the entire seasons, what was it? 9 seasons Melody Cherie was there. No sign of the concubine. Even after being divorced from Martell for a few years, no sign from the concubine. But I knew something was eventually going to happen because the ratings were not rating, you guys. The ratings were not rating. The ratings were not delivering in any capacity. So to keep this show on the air, you bring on a mistress who talks so nasty and disgusting about the couple that met with you to make this show happen in the first place. That is diabolical. That is disgusting. You never liked Melody Cherie Carlos. You never liked Melody Cherie Carlos. And here's the thing, you guys. I don't care if you like or dislike Melody Cherie. Look at it from a business perspective. If from a business perspective, you present a show, you and your husband at the time present a show that was supposed to be along the lines of, hey, we're going to be renovating homes, we're going to be doing all of this, and Carlos King is like, listen, bring me some other couples, we're going to repackage this a little bit, but it's going to focus on you guys as the 3 main married couples and y'all friendship and balancing family and being entrepreneurs and alleged multimillionaires. And then all of a sudden we get into the show and the show is less and less and less about giving back to the community and working on building homes for the less fortunate and building affordable homes so everybody can purchase in the Black community. We went completely away from that with the Core 6. Then it was all about Martell cheating on Melody Cherie and humiliating a Black woman. And then you utilize the other couples to just stay stuck in their patriotic ways and misogynistic ways to also humiliate the Black woman. One where she's a successful registered nurse and basically has to, wait 7 years for this man to finally marry her and might have been entangled still with his first wife. And basically was like, listen, look at here, I got to go to law school. You watch my son, even though your son is grown. And you're basically, you know what I'm saying? Stepping in for someone else's child while they could just go out and do their thing. And then you got another couple where the husband talks to his wife like she's a child. Talks to his wife like she is a non-factor. And knows that his wife is never going to go anywhere whether he cheats or not. Now, the $1 million question is going to be, is Martell's concubine going to go after the Scotts? Or is a part of her being on this show to not go after the Scotts? Because you had all that stuff to say, all that SHIT to say in the Tasha K interview. And basically, Scott's 1.0 and 2.0 was like, not too much. Kimmy was like, well, if anything did happen, it was before we got married. No. You were with that man for 7 years before there was a wedding. And how do we know for sure a wedding would have happened if this show never happened? And then you got Marceau and Tayshia when, asked about the alleged rumors at the alleged Airbnb and whether or not there was stuff going on with the linebackers. And Marceau basically was like, listen, for it to have happened, you know what I'm saying? You would have to have the proof that it happened. And if I did cheat, you know what I'm saying? You just got to provide the right mistress. And as long as there's not the right mistress that comes forward, how do you know what happened? No. That's not a denial. You know what I'm saying? It is basically like you find the real side chick and then we'll have a conversation. But as long as you don't find the real side chicks or alleged side chicks, it'll just continue to be a rumor. No. But I've lost so much respect for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Lost respect a long time ago for Martell not keeping the D in the pants. You know what I'm saying? And because you're so mad at your wife for exposing you, you tried to expose everybody else in the cast and they didn't budge. They didn't decide to divorce their significant others. And ultimately as well, you decided because Melody did not want to get back with you, you thought your last child was going to save your marriage. You decide to destroy her and lie on her and try to ruin her reputation, ruin her business, ruin everything attached to her. And the cast just co-signed it. Out of jealousy and insecurity that Melody Cherie had the largest fan base, was the most followed, was dominating all the storylines. And y'all were fine sitting back and eating popcorn while Mel and Tell's drama was getting y'all a check. And y'all gave minimal in y'all storylines. And y'all made it seem like y'all all played in Mel's face. Because y'all never liked Mel. Y'all are not Mel's friend. Because had this been any of y'all marriages and any actual side chick is on this show, it would never happen. Y'all know it would never happen. That's why y'all are saying all this nonsense at the reunion. Oh, yeah, well, if cheating, you know what I'm saying? We would work through it because we're all about staying married. It's not really the deal breaker that we said as it was before, because we saw that basically Melody Cherie left Martell broke and destitute, because we didn't realize how much of the brains behind the operation she really was. We thought Martell had a little motion, had a little something to bring to the table, but he needs a Melody Cherie to make himself look good. And we see Melody Cherie is thriving without him. And we don't want that. We don't want that to be us. We need our husbands. We need our husbands, you know what I'm saying, to present themselves a certain way for this show. No. Zero respect for all of y'all that have co-signed this and signed off on this for, you know what I'm saying, Martell's concubine to be on the show. Flat out disgusting and disturbing behavior as far as I'm concerned. And now I have to unfortunately watch for the sole purpose to see how much y'all are going to try to rewrite history, throw shots at Mel, or potentially even say Mel's name, and try to sell this nonsense as some type of love story, and that y'all been sister wives the whole time. And I'm here to tell y'all, there is no situation where a longtime mistress, you know what I'm saying, that the wife is out here cool with this. Because if that was the case, Mel would have stayed married to Martell. Everybody has their own breaking point as far as how long they're going to put up with somebody's cheating. Sometimes, for some people, it's one and done. You cheat on me once, I'm out the door. Other people, it's like, you cheat on me, I take you back, you know what I'm saying, and seeing if there's changed behavior. Unfortunately, Mel kept thinking that Martell was going to change. And he, unfortunately, was never going to change. But listen here to the concubine. You have wanted to be on this show, and you finally made it 12 seasons, a couple of seasons now after Melody Cherie is long gone. But she is not y'all's storyline. She is not y'all focus. What is it about you that makes you special? that makes you anything that deserves to be here on the show that Mel built up? On the show that Mel put on the map? On the show that Mel and Martell brought to Carlos King? What makes you so special? But I am just honestly disgusted by all of this, you guys, because all of those interviews that the cast and Carlos King said about this, but I realize Carlos King deep down doesn't care. He doesn't care about the black family or the institution of what a black marriage and a black family really entails. He's going to do anything to bring in ratings, to bring in clicks and views. That is what this is about when it is all said and done, y'all. And once you realize that, you realize that there's no bottom that Carlos King will not do. If it secures another season on this show, he is doing anything to make sure this show stays on the air. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying? What about Love and Marriage DC? Because I saw that, you know what I'm saying? Another couple has confirmed that they're not going to be back anyways. So what does that mean? But I feel so icky right now with this whole situation, and I cannot believe that we are talking about Martell's concubine finally making it onto this show, and I don't like it at all. It just goes against everything that Carlos King and the cast claimed that they were against and not about. But I guess when, you know what I'm saying, you've ran out of storylines to regurgitate and recycle for the gazillionth time, and people aren't giving what they need to give, you now reward Martell's concubine. You reward Martell's concubine with an opportunity on this show, and I am not feeling it. I am not feeling it at all, y'all. But, you know, we will see what happens. We will see what happens. And now I unfortunately have to see this madness as far as how far this is really going to go, and if they're really going to allow, you know what I'm saying, the concubine to just run amok on this show. And I said seasons ago, the moment Mel and Tell got divorced, you should have removed Martell from the show. But anything to keep Martell employed, including bringing on his concubine, because most of the cast ain't effing with him. Make it make sense? So there's that for this video. I need y'all to do me a big favor. I need y'all to do y'all biggest one, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There is that. That is it. That is all. Es todos es final. Es finito. Is he on the road? Is he on the line for this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.